Hello, and welcome to another session of The Peak. We're going to be talking about PPC ads. And the main question is, can you actually sell your products on Amazon, any Amazon marketplace, without having proper PPC ads? To help me answer this question and so many more, please join me in welcoming Mr. Mina Elias himself. Hi, Mina.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Welcome
You-
to The Peak.
Thank you. You picked the worst picture of me at the beginning. It's all good.
Oh, you're doing fantastic.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited. I'm logging in here from LA, and I'm ready to share a lot of PPC strategies, all from the basics all the way to the advanced stuff. And we can answer everyone's questions and go step by step to really help everyone understand Amazon PPC and use Amazon PPC to dominate. So, do you have any questions for me before I get started?
Do you think anybody can actually start selling on Amazon the traditional way, where like you can wait for people to find your product and without having to do any PPC ads?
No, I don't think so. I think it's not possible anymore, and it's now even more not possible because ever since COVID, every
Yeah.
single person in retail, so many people have reached out to me saying, "Hey, I'm selling my stuff in stores. I need to get my stuff on Amazon.
Me too.
Amazon is the
Yeah.
future. Can you help me?" So, like before COVID, I was already saying like, "Hey, it's really hard for anyone to ever find you." Because when you launch on Amazon, you're on page whatever 1,000, and no one can find you. And now with the insane amount of competition, by the way, e-commerce in the USA, e-commerce accounted for 10% of total retail. So now after COVID and everything shut down, look at how much percentage that number is. So
Yeah.
everything that was on Amazon, at least 400 or 500% increase in the number of sellers coming in on Amazon. So I think it's impossible for anyone to ever find you. Amazon is also, like I always say, it's two sides to the coin, right? It's how convertible your product is. So how many people want your product? They see your product, they see the listing. If 100 people visit that listing, how many people want to buy it? That's your conversion rate. Now you can optimize your images, main image, headlines, all that, description,
All that stuff,
all that
yeah.
kind of stuff, reviews, pricing, so you can get that convertible. So once that's something that's convertible, how are people ever going to find you? That's the second, is driving traffic. Now, you can do Facebook ads, you can do Instagram ads, you can do influencer marketing, you can do Google, you can do organic search engine optimization and post in a lot of blogs and things like that. But on Amazon, you have a warm audience. Now, what a warm audience is people who are coming in with their credit cards ready. It's all saved. They just have to click buy now. So for me, I recently just bought, just as an example, salsa bowls. So, my sister was over and she's like, "You need salsa bowls." I said, "Okay, let's buy some salsa bowls."
Oh, what is a salsa bowl? Okay.
I mean, it's a bowl that you put the salsa in. Usually,
Yeah, well.
I open the salsa and I dip right from there, but I guess, you need to level up at some point.
Yeah.
So I went online and I typed salsa bowl. And then I started seeing all of the listings that came up. And I immediately went ahead and picked one, the best one that I thought, and I bought it. And so when you have an audience like that on Amazon, that they're ready with their credit cards out, and it's so simple for them to buy anything because they just click buy. You want to advertise to those people because you're going to get a much better return on your ad spend versus if you're spending with influencer marketing. And
Yeah.
by the way, all of it works. Influencer marketing works, Facebook, but you have to start somewhere. So why not start where the shoppers are already hanging out? So that's the answer to that question.
Perfect. Let's get started.
Okay, cool. So let's get started into a little bit of the basics of Amazon PPC, and then we'll work through the advanced stuff. So in terms of the basics of Amazon PPC, there's two main placements that you need to worry about. There's placements in the search, and then there's placements under detail pages. Placements in the search, basically, if you type in a keyword, You're gonna scroll like I typed in salsa bowls. You're gonna scroll down. You're gonna see a bunch of results. Some of these results will say sponsored. They look exactly like the organic results. These are typical keyword, sponsored product targeting, keyword targeting ads. And then you have product detail pages. That's the product targeting ads. And those, if you click on a product, you'll scroll down and you'll see sponsored products related to this product. Now, that's the best way when you target on your competitors or whatever, just so when someone's looking at someone's product, they go down and they see your product. It's a very easy way. You can also do that with complementary products. Let's say you're selling shoe shine. You can start, advertising under shoes. So someone who's looking at shoes says, "Oh, let me also buy the shoe shine." So those are the two main ways.
Other people's, you're stealing sales from your competitors, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Competitors or complementary products.
Complementary products.
Now, with that being done, the overall goal is we want to capture every single keyword and every single product target there is out there. So every product and every keyword that we can advertise on, we want to capture. Now, will they all be profitable? No, they'll definitely not all be profitable, but you need a data-driven approach. So when I first started, I was using my mind, unfortunately. And I was saying, you know what, this keyword electrolyte powder and my product is an electrolyte powder. It should be good.
Sense, yeah.
But that's not the case. You have to follow the data. And so I'll explain, a few key performance indicators that we can look at. And then I'll also explain how you can monitor your progress and optimize and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, for us to target all of these keywords and all these different product targets, we need to start discovering these keywords and product targets, because I don't know what Crystal's friends are searching for on Amazon if they're looking for an electrolyte powder. Maybe I type in electrolyte powder. Maybe they're typing in electrolyte powder for women or electrolyte powder for cyclists, something like that. I don't know. So there's a few types of campaigns that will help you discover these keywords. We have the auto and the broad and the phrase. Those are the three ones that we'll discover. Auto is basically Amazon's algorithm just going out and doing whatever it wants and finding keywords. There's 4 types of auto. There's close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. Close match is closely matched keywords. Loose match, loosely matched keywords. Complements is complementary products to your product, and substitutes is your direct competitors. So we have the auto, and then with broad, if I put in a keyword electrolyte powder, basically electrolyte powder, it can add keywords at the beginning or the end. It can replace a keyword. So I can say electrolyte supplement or hydration powder, for example, and it can switch the position. It has the most amount of freedom. Yeah. So when I put in electrolyte powder, it can trigger for 70 different keywords like electrolyte supplement, electrolyte hydration powder, hydration supplement powder, all of these different things. So broad is the most I guess the biggest, that has the most variance.
It's broad.
The broadest. Phrase is a little bit narrower because the keywords still have to be stuck to each other. You can add at the beginning or the end. You can move them, but they have to be stuck. So electrolyte powder has to be there. So you get a little bit less because you can't replace keywords. And then you have exact, and exact doesn't do anything other than advertise on that exact keyword. Yeah. And you also have product targeting. Product targeting only advertises on those product keywords. And then you have category targeting, and category basically will target an entire category, and you can refine it to, for what the different brands are, 3 stars or less, so on and so forth. Price, number, star rating, and brands. So we're gonna launch these discovery campaigns, and we're gonna wait for a few weeks. And don't worry, I'll break it down exactly how we launch. We're gonna launch the discovery campaigns. We're gonna wait a few weeks, and then we're gonna go into the search term reports. And it's pretty simple. You go into Campaign Manager, click the 3 dashes, click reports, download the search, click on the search term report, last 30 days, download it, and it'll show you all of the customer search terms, which include keywords and products that people have searched for your product and then clicked. Usually I keep a threshold of 3 clicks, which means anything under 3 clicks, I hide it because maybe someone clicked on it by accident, right? Maybe someone was searching, something, and then my product showed up and they accidentally clicked on it, and there's not a lot of intent to buy on that keyword, so I'm going to ignore it. But if it's 3 clicks or more, 3 different people have, I've gotten at least 3 clicks on that same, might be the same person or different people, it's at least the same person every 7 days. So one person, by the way, can't click on the same ad more than once every 7 days. So if I clicked on your ad for electrolyte powder today, it waits 7 days for it to count it as a second click. So anyways, pretty much I'm going to see all of those customer search terms and I'm going to extract them. Now I have all of this data on all of these keywords that I can now target, all these products that I now target, and I'm going to put them in new campaigns again, broad, phrase, and exact. Those are going to discover more keywords for me, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of the cycle of discovery. Now, how should we launch our PPC campaigns, and how should we look at a few things? So remember, key performance indicators right now. We talked about PPC is what drives traffic to your listing. So a key performance indicator is sessions. If you go to reports, business reports, and then the second last option on the left is detail page by Child ASIN, there should be a column called unit session percentage and sessions. So don't confuse unit session percentage with session percentage. Unit session percentage is your conversion rate. So you want to always monitor that that's at a decent level. Because if it's low, if it drops below 15%, let's say, that means you're sending people, to something that's not converting. But if it's over 15, 20%, you're good. Now we look at the sessions. And every day you want to document how many sessions you're getting, and you want to watch that trend go up, 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 up. If it's not, then your PPC is not working. Okay. And now obviously we want to keep that trend going up, but at the same time, we want to be profitable. So the goal of launching all of these new campaigns is to continuously get new sessions and new people to the listing. And then we're going to have the optimization where we take all of everything that we're currently bidding on and optimize it. And I'll talk about the optimization in a second. So in terms of launch, we have the 4 auto campaigns. We're going to break them up into 4: close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. The way to do that is you launch the auto campaign. When it says what is the default bid, you click set default bid by targeting group, I think, and then you can keep close match on and then turn off loose match, complements, and substitutes, and then that will, and then you do the same thing for loose match and so on and so forth. So it's you keep one on at a time. So now you have the 4. Now you're gonna take any main keyword. So when we say main keyword, I don't know what you guys use in the UAE. I use Helium 10 in the USA, but you go and you find the keywords that are most relevant to your product with the highest search volume. So if I'm selling an electrolyte powder, it will be like electrolyte powder, electrolyte or hydration powder. Those 2 keywords have like 30, 40,000 searches a month. They're very relevant to my product. Those are the main keywords. And then I want Amazon to know, hey, Mina's product is very related to those main keywords. And then those main keywords have a lot of like root keywords coming out of them that we want to rank for. So we're going to take the main keyword and have 1 campaign broad, 1 campaign phrase, 1 campaign exact for each of those keywords. Now, here's a quick way to get your main keywords. Go into Helium 10, open up Amazon.com, type in what you think is the main keyword. You do that, you're going to get a few products. Look at the first keyword that is in their title. Usually the first keyword that's repeated in the most titles, that's the main keyword. Take that out, put it again into the Amazon search it, take 10 of your competitors, go to Helium 10 Cerebro, paste them there, click search, go down to advanced filters, click minimum ranking competitors, 9. So if you put 10 ASINs, it should be 9. And please pick 10 products that are very related to your product. Don't pick something that's like, I mean, it's close enough. No, like it has to really be a competitor or else the keywords can change. And then when you do 9 minimum ranking competitors, sort by search volume, and the top ones, those are the main keywords. So now you take that and you launch. I used to do 1 main keyword. Now I'm doing up to like 7 or 8 different main keywords. And so that's 1 campaign broad, 1 campaign phrase, 1 campaign exact, 1 keyword per campaign. And the reason is I want to pump as much budget into that 1 keyword. So Amazon starts, showing me aggressively and then realizes, wow, Mina's product is an electrolyte powder. Amazon is a big cataloging system. And the faster that you can help Amazon identify where your product fits in the catalog, the better they can show you, because at the end of the day, they want you to convert into sales, because that means that they're going to get money from you. So campaign structures are usually 1 campaign, 1 ad group, and then the keywords. I never go over 10 keywords because I've seen that anything over 10 keywords, the keywords are not getting enough impressions. So the reason is Amazon's going to look at your, let's say 50 keywords, and they're going to say, well, these top 5 or 10, they're doing most of the work. Like they're getting a lot of traction. Why should I give money to some of the lower ones, which by the way, may convert a lot more profitably, but they're just not driving enough traffic or enough impressions because not enough people are looking for them. So they'll pick like the top 5 or 10. I don't know exactly how the algorithm works. No one does, but they'll send, most of the budget there. So that's why I limit it to 5 to 10 keywords. And then
at the end of the day, it's an algorithm. That's what everybody needs to remember. It's an actual algorithm, and all algorithms have flaws. So yeah.
Exactly. And so, and I'm glad that you highlighted that, because that takes me to the second point, which is, why do I only do one ad group? Well, again, because I don't understand how the Amazon algorithm is going to split my budget between the different ad groups. I don't have a budget on the ad group level. In Facebook ads, you somewhat can do this. Google, you somewhat can do this. But on Amazon, you can't. So if I have $100 in daily budget in my campaign, and then I have 3 ad groups, I don't know how much is going to go to each one. And so since I'm giving that control to Amazon, and then their algorithm, which I don't know anything about, is going to do whatever it's going to do, I'm losing control here. I'm losing granularity. So I keep it just one ad group, so the money just all flows down to those keywords. And other than that, I'll launch, so the main keywords, top 10 keywords, I'll launch branded keywords. So anything that has to do with my brand. And guys, please trust that people will eventually start searching using your brand name, because someone might see your product and then later on go say, you know what, let me just go buy. I'm gonna buy it later. I'm at work now or whatever. Or they're on their computer. They're like, oh, this like a hydrolyte electrolyte is really cool. Let me buy it. And then they forget and they go home and then they're like, oh, what was that called? And they searched it. People will search.
They remember the brand name. Yeah.
And here's the deal. If you're not bidding on your brand name, someone else is. So they might be like, oh, I really like hydrolyte electrolytes. And then they might type in hydrolyte and I'm not bidding on it. And they find like a competitor, Ultima Electrolytes. And then Ultima has 2,000 reviews. Guess who's going to take that sale now? They're like, Ultima looks pretty good and they have really good reviews. So don't put yourself in that situation. So I target my own branded keywords. I target my own ASINs if it makes sense to target my own ASINs. So let's say if you're in a niche where your products are all kind of can be upsold to each other. If you have existing campaigns that are running or existing products that are running and you launch a new one, target all of your old products, because people are already clicking on your other products. And when they scroll down and they see the new product, they might be interested in it. And it also, again, protects and defends that placement from other competitors on your other products. I'll do a category refined campaign. Yeah,
because when you're taking that place, you're taking it from a potential competitor. Yeah,
exactly. And one thing you can go is look at Bulletproof Coffee. Go type in Bulletproof Coffee or Genius, the Genius brand, and go click on one of their products and scroll down and see how the entire sponsored ads under the listing is their own products. So if you're clicking on my product, you're buying one of my products. It doesn't matter if it's the caffeine or the this or the that, you're buying something. So
you're not seeing any competitors. So yeah.
Exactly. And that's really good. So the next one is I'll do a category refined campaign. So I'll go in, it's a product targeting campaign. I'll click on category, I'll pick my category, and then I'll refine it and I'll target anything that's more expensive than my product and 3 stars or less. These are kind of like very low-hanging fruit. You can easily win them because it's 3 stars or less, and they're more expensive than you. Why would someone buy that versus or at least they'll get you a click, and then people will be interested in your product. And then finally, I'll do something that's also low-hanging fruit, and that's newest arrivals. So I'll type in my main keyword. In the top right, I'll sort by, and usually the default is featured. You can change that to newest arrivals, and you can find your competitors' newest or all of your newest arriving competitors and target those keywords. So or target those products, sorry. All of those products is pretty much someone who just started on Amazon. They're in their honeymoon phase. They're running auto campaigns, whatever. They don't know what they're doing. And you come in there, you have, a lot better reviews. You know what you're doing.
Got a bit of traction.
Yeah, you watch this and you understand what you're doing, and then you take their sales. So this is pretty much the launch. Now, please don't look at ACOS in the campaign manager.
Mhm.
The reason I say this is because people underestimate how much spillover comes into the organic sales from PPC.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
want to test this, I want you to run PPC, get like up to like 15, 20 sales a day, and then turn off PPC. And if your PPC is telling you that you're getting 5 sales a day from PPC and then the rest is organic, turn off your PPC and see how many sales you're going to get. I've done this many times, testing on my own products. And the first time is when I learned the hard lesson. I was doing, I think, 25 units a day on my first product ever. And I said, you know what,
I'm doing
PPC is only
fine.
doing
Yeah.
PPC is only doing 5 units a day, and like they're spending so much money. I was doing over $100 a day on PPC. Let me cut it off. I cut it off. I went down to 2 sales a day, and that's like, and maybe supplements is very competitive, but that's how it is on Amazon. PPC is showing your product so much, and that's resulting in the sales. So don't ever discredit PPC. So instead of looking at campaign manager ACOS, you want to look at total ACOS, which is PPC spend divided by total sales. And now that number, you're going to have to calculate on your own because it's not going to be in the campaign manager or anything like that. That number is actually the true amount percent of your revenue or your revenue that is going to advertising. So what you need to understand is if you're selling a product for $20 and it costs you $10 to make, and plus the Amazon fee, or $5 to make, $5 Amazon fees, you're left with $10 profit. 10 divided by 20, that's 50%. 50% is your gross profit margin. Now you're going to take advertising from that. So if your total ACOS is over 50%, that means that you're losing money. If it's under 50%, it means you're making money. So the total ACOS and your gross profit margin is a very good comparison, because if your gross profit margin is 40%, you want your total ACOS to be like 15-20% maximum, so you can at least make 20% profit on everything that you're selling. And so another thing is, don't worry too much about profit percent, worry about the dollar amount in profit. So I hope that you had, like, in the peak, some sort of accounting, someone who's an expert in accounting, talk about looking at the profit and loss statements. But you want to look at your
next
SKUs.
session, actually. But yeah,
Perfect.
It's going to be with your friends from Feedback Quiz.
Oh, no way. Amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who, Henson?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Perfect. So basically, you want to look at the dollar amount that is coming in, because maybe at 10% total ACOS, you're bringing in $500 in profit. But maybe at 18% or 20% total ACOS, you're bringing in $1,000. The percent went down. Yeah, your profit percent went down, but your volume went up. And as a result, the total dollar amount coming into your bank is greater. So that's what the most important number is the dollar amount coming into your bank. So those are the key performance indicators for you to understand what's going on. Look at the sessions, look at the unit session percentage, look at your total ACOS, and then look at the dollar amount coming in, so you can kind of adjust your strategy. Because when you launch, for me, I'm okay spending $3,000, losing it on PPC more. I had a friend who spent $15,000, lost it on PPC. And I think we were in the whole $500 a day. And he kept that going for like 2 weeks. And I was like, are you sure, man? But he's obviously a much bigger company. But he said, yeah, trust me. And then after we waited, I think he was doing 120, 130 units a day in sales. So it depends on how aggressive you want to be, but that's how you can kind of measure the different things that you're doing and make sure that everything is working. So now we've launched, we waited, went in the search term report. We're going to extract all the keywords, and we're going to start launching more and more and more campaigns. There is no limit to the amount of campaigns that you should launch. Just keep launching as long as there's new keywords. One thing, when you pull the search term report, any keywords in there, make sure that you're not already bidding on them. So remove all the duplicates. There's a quick formula you can do. I can probably send it to you if you guys need it. But basically, you're going to compare everything in the search term report with everything in your bulk sheets, and make sure that you're like deduplicating anything that you're already bidding on. So now you're going to launch those campaigns. Again, one campaign, one ad set, 10 keywords, one broad, one phrase, one exact. Try and sort by impression, because you don't want very high impression keywords with low impression keywords, because what that's going to do is, again, Amazon is going to send the money to the high impression one and ignore the low impression one. Anecdotally, I've experienced that many times. So once we're at that point, oh, by the way, two more points. The budget, people are going to ask me, what budget should I start with? I never start anything lower than $100 a day. The reason is, if you start with too low of a budget, Amazon's going to say this guy doesn't have money to spend.
Yep.
And as a result, they're not going to show you. They're going to say, you know, he's putting a $15 or $20 budget. The cost per click is $1. He can only show up 15 times. Let's not show him, because we don't want to exceed his budget. But if you have a really big budget, they're okay showing you. Now, where you can control it is the bid. Now, for the bid, you're going to lower that bid according to how much you want to show up. So if it's let's say the suggested bid is $1.50, you can say, okay, I want to start a little bit more conservative. You show up $1.10, or you say, you know, I don't care, I can be aggressive. You can do $1.70, for example.
Depends on the product for sure, and depends on your margins. But
honestly,
you definitely need to be aggressive.
It's always going to be iteration. So at the beginning, you don't know. So like, for example, it's like if I told you how many meals a day for me to lose weight, you're going to be like, I don't know. I'm like, start by eating 4 meals a day. And then if you're gaining weight, we'll cut down. If you're losing weight, we'll add something like that. It's the exact same thing. So you start with $1.50 bid. You don't know what's going to happen, but then you get the data. And so now I'm going to touch on the data. So we launched, we discovered keywords, we pulled them out, we launched them in new campaigns. Now we obviously have to optimize, or else we're going to go broke. So we download the bulk sheet. So you can go again into the campaign manager, click the 3 dashes, bulk operations, download the bulk sheet. I want you to go back at least 3 days. So today is April 3rd, go March 31st, or usually I go a week back. So I'll go like, what is that? March 26th, something like that. And I'll go 7 days before that. So I'll do March 19 to March 26. That's my range. The reason I skip that week is because this is what I did once. I went today and I downloaded the last 7 days of data. So if it's March 2nd to April 2nd to March 27th or something like that. And then I waited a week and I downloaded that same data and I compared the numbers that Amazon was giving me, and there was some of them had up to 100% discrepancy. So which means that sometimes it showed me that, hey, my ACOS was 45%, but it was actually 90, or it was actually 22%. So I mean, the attribution is delayed. So that's why I always skip that. So we're going to download the bulk sheet in that date range for a week. And what it's going to do is going to show you all of your campaigns and all of your keywords and everything that you're bidding on. From there, you're going to highlight everything, click sort and filter. In column B, which is the record type, you're going to show only keywords and product targets. That's only going to show the keywords and the product targets that you're targeting on Amazon. And then you're going to highlight everything, click sort and filter, and then sort by ACOS. Sometimes you might have a little bit of issues because the bulk sheet, everything is in text. So you can highlight from impressions all the way down to ACOS and highlight all of those fields and click convert to number. Once you convert to number, you can easily sort, no problem. So now that you sort highest to lowest, remember that gross profit margin we talked about? That's kind of like your break-even percent for ACOS. So you can use that as a target and you can say, okay, anything above that gross profit margin. So if, let's say it's 50%. Anything with an ACOS above 50%, you want to lower the bid. Anything with an ACOS from 0.1 to 50%, you can either not touch it or maybe increase the bids a little bit to get a little bit more visibility since it's profitable. Anything that's getting clicks and no sales under that. So once I get to the sorting the ACOS, anything that has a 0 ACOS, I'll highlight it all, sort and filter by clicks. Anything, usually for me, anything above 5 clicks and no sales, I'll lower the bid because that means people are clicking, but it's not converting. So let's cut down on the bid a little bit. And then I'll go to the bottom. Anything under 300 impressions. So anything under 5 clicks and anything under 300 impressions, I'll increase the bid because that means I might have set a bid that was too low and it's not showing me up enough. Okay. So that's kind of the optimization. Now you're going to ask me, how much do you optimize the bid by? I'm a very iterative person, which means if my target is 50% and I'm at 70%, I'm not going to do 50 minus 70 equals 20 divided by 50 multiplied by I don't do that. I don't do equations because again, I don't know what the Amazon algorithm is going to do. So what I do is I say 50 is here. I'm at 70. I need to go lower. I'm going to go lower by 5 cents. And I lowered a bit. And the next week I lowered a bit.
And I
Next
test
week
it.
I lowered a bit. And so on and so forth. And I keep, you know, as long as the if statement is this keyword greater than my target, yes, lower a little bit. If once it gets to no, you can keep it the same or increase it a little bit to get a little bit more visibility. And that's what keeps everything moving all the time. Because remember, your clicks this week is based on the 1 million people that were on Amazon this week. Your clicks next week are based on a whole million different people. So you can't, it's not an equation, because you're getting data from one set of people, and then you're getting data from another set of people. All you can do is measure. It's like, you know, when you put your hand in the water, when in the shower, you turn the hot water on, you put your hand. It's too hot, you turn it low. It's too cold, you turn it up. It's too hot, you turn it low, and so on and so forth. And maybe the water starts getting colder, you turn it up again. Water gets too hot, you turn it down again. That's exactly how it is. Now, if you're at a 200% ACOS and your target is 50, okay, you don't need to go 0.05 or 5 cents. You can go down by 10 cents, which is 0.1. But don't go crazy and don't go down by 50 cents. And you can go by 0.1 cents, but maybe do it like 3 times throughout the week instead of once. So I'm optimizing once a week. If you notice, oh, I'm bleeding a little bit too much, optimize 3 times a week. But remember, you're going to keep taking that same time frame, so it might not be as accurate, but you will notice on the yesterday's data or whatever, your total ACOS went down. And so that's the only very like reactive measure that you can take, is you can see, okay, how much did I spend yesterday? If it tells you like you spent $400, maximum it's going to go up like 450. So that one, the attribution is somewhat decent. It's the keywords, the attribution is bad. So if your spend yesterday was 400 and your sales were 2,000, and then you did an optimization and now it's, you know, 352,000, and then you did another optimization 322,000, you're like, okay, now I'm getting good. But if it gets down to like 320, 1,600, you're like, okay, I just lost $400 in sales and I cut down $80 in PPC spend. Is it worth it? And so that's kind of the balance that you have to keep working with. And that's pretty much,
you know, one of the main takes on this part of the presentation or conversation is very important, because a lot of people tend to think, you know, PPC ads is something that you just create a campaign and you let it be and you don't do anything. So it's very important to keep testing and optimizing. And the second thing is, a lot of people ask, just what is the blueprint that I need to follow, like a step-by-step blueprint? And yeah, in the macro, there is a blueprint. However, there is no real blueprint, because it has to do with the results that you're actually getting.
Exactly. It's a nonstop thing that keeps happening over and over again every single week. But honestly, once you get good at it, all you need to do is dedicate maybe an hour or two every single week. Say, okay, every Monday you're gonna go in, you're gonna pull the search term reports, get the new keywords, launch the new campaigns, pull the bulk sheets, optimize the bulk sheets. You can also pull the placement reports, compare and see in the placement report. So the placement reports, again, will show 2 things. They're going to show which the top of the search on the first page and the detail pages, how well those placements do. So they can say, oh, by the way, Mina, for electrolyte powder, when we showed it in the top of the search, the ACOS was 25%. When we showed it in the rest of the search, the ACOS was 50%. We showed it in the product detail pages, the ACOS was 85%. So this tells me, okay, I need to show more in the top of the search. So what I can do is I can go into the bulk sheets, and again, in column B, click on sort, and then show campaign by placement. And for that campaign, where the keyword electrolyte powder is, for campaign by placement, I can increase the bid percent for placement for top of the search first page by, let's say, 10%. So what that means is, if my bid is $1, when it comes time and Amazon does the bid and it sees $1, it's allowed to spend up to $1.10 if that means that I'm going to show up top of the search. And I want to show up at the top of the search because clearly the data is telling me that I'm converting better at the top of the search first page. And the same with the detail pages. So you can also do that. You can extract all of that information from the placement reports and do that. Now, taking it a step further, we have sponsored brands, sponsored display, video. Video is crushing right now, completely incredible. And you have a first mover advantage. Not a lot of people are running video right now. It's not hard, guys. You can send your product to I sent my product, I put it in a box, sent it to the Ukraine, got a video done, got the text done. Okay, for number one, go to Facebook ads library, look up one of your $100 million competitors, and you can pretty much take their ads as inspiration, copy them. Number two, you can ship your product to Ukraine, go on Fiverr, find someone in Ukraine who's going to do a video. It'll probably cost you $200. Get a video done with text. Make sure it's all text, because all Amazon people are shopping with no sound on. And then what you can do from there is you can, pretty much just imitate what the Facebook ad is of your competitor, create that video and start running those videos on Amazon as ads. And that takes a big piece of the placement on the page. So every week, go into your bulk sheets or your search term reports, pull out any keyword that has an ACOS, let's say, of 30% or less, or 20% or less, depending on how sensitive you want to be. So for me, I do 20% or less. So any keyword 1 to 20% ACOS, I'll pull that keyword out and I'll create a video campaign, one for broad, one for phrase, one for exact, one keyword with that video. And try and get a few videos, because initially you can run 3 different videos. You can see which video is the best, and then take that best performing video and then run it across all of the different keywords.
Just to let you know, Mina, because a lot of people watching us are obviously selling on Amazon UAE. Video ads just became available on Amazon UAE a couple of weeks ago. So not a lot of people are using them. Not a lot of people know that they actually exist. And they are absolutely, just like you said, they're crushing it.
And move now and move fast. And so you're lucky that you're at the peak and you're listening to this. So move now, move fast. If you're like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, how do I do a video and all this stuff? Guys, you don't even need a video. You can go to Upwork or Fiverr, hire someone to do a slideshow with a bunch of text. Just anything to get that placement, because no one is showing up there. So you're gonna easily dominate everyone who's not bidding on those keywords. And now, similarly, the same way I take the 0 to 20% ACOS keywords for video, I do the same thing for top headline search ads and product display ads. Product display ads, it's super simple because they just show up. With headline search ads, you can do it. You have to have a portfolio of keyword of products. Now I think you can even do it with just 1 or 2 products. I'm not sure, but it'll show the 3 different products, and it'll have your logo and everything. You can test it.
You can do it with 1, but it just looks very weird.
Yeah, and you can test it. You can test it without any headline, or you can start testing different headlines. Okay, but if this is too overwhelming for you, don't do any headlines. Just pull the keywords and run sponsored display and sponsored brand, 1 keyword per campaign, 1 broad, 1 phrase, 1 exact, and just let it run. Because all of these, this is what happens, guys. People type in electrolyte powder and they see hydrolyte, and they start seeing me everywhere, and they think I'm a legitimate brand. I am a legitimate brand, but they start legitimizing.
Let's say in the beginning,
Pepsi or Coke or KFC, you see them so much everywhere that they're always in your mind, and
they never stop advertising, and they don't really need to, but they never stop advertising. Yeah,
exactly. You know how it is in Dubai, you're driving and it's 60 different signs, one after, especially Ramadan is coming soon right now. You see the advertisements like crazy. The reason they do this is because you need to see 7, at least, I think on average 7 times before it actually registers in your mind, I should buy this thing. So that's just based on psychology. So that's pretty much the flow on my end. Trying to think. I think that's pretty much everything that I do. There's also a little bit negatives. I didn't touch on negatives yet. So
I was going to ask you actually.
For auto broaden phrase, because 1 keyword like electrolyte powder can trigger for 70 different keywords. What if I'm bidding on electrolyte powder and I go look at the search term and it's going to tell me electrolyte powder broad showed for these 50 keywords, 40 of them are amazing, they're doing really good, and 10 of them are doing horrible. And by doing horrible, I mean maybe I'm spending $10 on them and they're not making me any sales. This immediately brings the whole, class average down. So like, let's say you had, 30 students in your class, everyone is getting 90% and above, and then there's 5 that are failing. You want to get rid of those 5, not in the school, but in the keywords. So pretty much what you want to do, is you want to go in, find those keywords, take those keywords, and in the campaign, you can go into Campaign Manager, click on that campaign, and it's going to say on the left, negative targeting. Click on negative targeting, add that keyword, add it as negative exact, not negative phrase. The only reason you would do negative phrase is if it's something like you're selling a hair supplement and it's triggering for pets, like fur or pet hair supplement. You don't want that. So what you're going to do is you can negative phrase the word pet. So anything that has pet or is related to pet, you don't show up. But if it's just a keyword like, maybe electrolyte hydration, I'm not converting well for, or electrolyte for keto, I'm not converting well for, what I'll do is take that, add it as negative exact, and I'll no longer show up for that keyword. And that will add my profitability. So what I would do, the metrics that I use is every 30 days, I go in, I pull the customer search term, and any keyword in the last 30 days that has an ACOS of over 75% or has $10 in spend and no sales, I'll negative it. And every, obviously, initially, you're going to negative a lot. So every 3 months or so, I remove all of the negatives. And the reason that I'll remove all of the negatives is to completely refresh everything. And, maybe I'm like, oh, like now I'm getting a lot of like spend on these different keywords, but very, very quickly within 30 days, anything that's not performing is going to get eliminated. So it's not a problem. And at the end of the day, this is an investment, guys. So yes, you want to be profitable, but you don't want to be so profitable that you're worried about launching a new keyword or something and then never scale, because you're going to have to waste a little bit of money to scale.
That's perfect. You're right. Because obviously it takes a lot of hard work. So when you first start selling on Amazon, you think you should be making money from the very first second, but it's a business, and all businesses have a phase where you're basically not making money because for the bigger picture.
Exactly. You're buying data, guys. Amazon PPC, you're at the beginning, you're spending all this money to buy the data, which is all the keywords that you want to figure out where people are. And then once you get all those keywords, you're spending more money to figure if they're profitable or not. So initially you're spending a lot of money. And I would say, I mean, in the first 6 months of your product cycle, you're probably not going to be profitable. And then after the 6th month, you're going to start, optimizing. And this is just a general note out there for everyone who's building a business on Amazon and you're trying to live off of it. Really, I tried to live off of my business initially, and I noticed that I was choking it because I was taking all the money and I was being too stingy because I wanted to keep all the money so I can live off of it. I would suggest for you to build an appreciating asset, you need to worry about that gross profit more, and then reinvest the net profit into increasing that gross profit, because the value of your asset is going to keep appreciating, and then someone's going to come and buy it from you for a lot more than if you just lived. Because if you're pulling $5,000 a month from your business over 12 months, that's $60K. But if you kept reinvesting and that business made you, let's say, $10K a month in profit, now you can sell that for like $300,000. So that 60 became 300,000 if you just reinvest and worry about the growth, because you're building an asset. And instead of just keep taking money from it. So just a quick side note for everyone, because I've been through all of this.
That's very valuable, because a lot of people, because of what happened in 2020, started to think, let me build a second business. I have my job or I have my primary business and I want a side business, Amazon. So these types of people are the people that are going to succeed, because they're not relying on Amazon solely.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that we talked about in one of our collab videos, and I love what you said, is the fact that, when you start advertising on Amazon and doing the PPC ads, you shouldn't be in love with those keywords, the keywords that you think are relevant. Just look at the keywords as data. Don't fall in love with that particular keyword because you think, no, I should be ranking for that keyword because this keyword is perfect for my product. I'm selling a pet brush and I should be ranking for pet brush. However, I am ranking, but I'm not getting those sales. I'm getting clicks, but I'm not getting sales from that keyword. So just look at it as data.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped completely looking at the keywords because even me at this point, it's still, I'm like, "Ah, why is this competitor taking my sales?" You get so
Did I do
emotional.
something wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, you get so now I don't look. I just look. I see numbers. I have an employee doing this, and he shows me old max bid, new max bid, and everything is color coded. The stuff that's not profitable is red, blue, green, whatever. I look at it. I'm like, okay, good, good. Anything that was red, I don't look at the keywords anymore because if I look at the keywords, I'm gonna start being like, do people don't want my product for keto? Should I not advertise keto? You start getting in your head, but it's just data. It's different people every single week. So don't get too attached.
You do. Perfect. Would you follow the same strategy for a product that just launched and doesn't have any reviews?
Yeah, it's the exact same strategy always. Now, if you don't have any reviews and you're not getting reviews, please get reviews quickly, but also you can be a little bit less aggressive with the launch. So maybe lower the bids a little bit more. But let me be honest. The first
you need to have
weeks,
a strategy for reviews.
the first 8 weeks of your product on Amazon is like where you make or break it. Like Amazon is gonna give you 8 weeks, and then after that they're gonna be like, okay, this is a good product or this is a bad product. So in those first 8 weeks, be aggressive, lose some money, get reviews as fast as you can. You have all your friends and family, do whatever it takes. You have people on Instagram, and then from there you can like start, pulling the gas back down and like not go so aggressively. But the first 8 weeks are very important. So you really want to kind of be aggressive.
Yeah. A question from Anish. Can you repeat how to calculate total ACOS?
So total ACOS is going to be your PPC spend. So all of the money spent on PPC that you can see in your campaign manager divided by your total sales. Okay. And a couple of notes I want to put up there. And so total sales, it's whatever the organic and PPC sales. You can go into reports, business reports. Again, detail page by Child ASIN, and you can see for any date range how much total revenue you made that date range. Now, two things to keep things very, very clean. Number one, you want to have a portfolio for every single SKU. So make sure that you have a separate portfolio for every single product because you don't want all of the PPC numbers to mix up. You might have an old product that has really good PPC numbers and a new product that has bad. And if you mix them together, it's not good. And then the second thing is, whenever you're creating campaigns, make sure the names are very, very clean. So for every product, have a code. For example, for me, Hydrolyte and Unflavored is HU, Hydrolyte Blue Raz, HBR. And so always the campaign name starts with HU space dash space. And then I could say, keyword exact from STR, search term report 1, for example, something like that. Very quick and easy for me to identify what that campaign is. And also, when you have multiple products and you go into the bulk sheet and you want to sort, you want to obviously do whatever you're going to do for one product only. You don't want to like have all of the products mixed up together because an older product, you might be like, okay, now I want to optimize below 30% ACOS. But a new product, you're like, okay, let's keep it 60. We still need it to be spending and being more aggressive. So the only way for you to be very easily sort that stuff in the bulk sheets is to click on the drop down and then sort by. You can type in like HU and it'll only show HU campaign names, and then you show only that. Perfect.
A question from Rana. I think whenever Amazon sellers start talking, it kind of seems like a foreign language. So she's asking, like, she wants to understand how to start this business. So I know it's not very much related to PPC, but what's the learning curve? Is there like a book that you should buy in order to learn how to sell on Amazon?
No. I mean, obviously I learned the hard way. Crystal, I don't know if you have a course or whatever, but this is the way that you do it is this.
By doing it.
No, first of all, you start by finding a solution to a problem. that's better than everyone else's solution. So for example, I'm drinking from this gallon jug and this cap keeps breaking and like the water is like too much and all of this stuff. So I create a solution to this problem that's better than everyone else's solution out there. I go look at the competitors' 1-star reviews. I go look at their 5-star reviews. I take all of the good stuff and I remove all of the bad stuff out of my product. I make a product that's going to make people's lives better. Then I go get that product, quoted and manufactured. I make sure that there's demand for that product. Once I manufacture that product, you're going to make it, you're going to, find a manufacturer. I suggest that you find 10 manufacturers, get different quotes, different terms, all of that stuff, get all that information. From there, you're going to pretty much figure out what the quote is, get the best quote, manufacture. You're going to send it all to Amazon. Amazon is going to have it in their warehouse. You're going to list it on Amazon. You're going to have to create a listing. You're going to have to take pictures of your product, different pictures, have the headline. You can basically go look at your top competitor, imitate their listing, and just make it a little bit better, a little bit different. And then now you're listed on Amazon. Now your product's on Amazon, in Amazon warehouse. And whenever someone buys, Amazon's going to pack it, send it to them. And now you have to start advertising on your product and getting reviews for your product. That's kind of in a nutshell. I actually have I think 40 free videos of step-by-step, how to sell on Amazon. If you guys want, I can give you the link, Crystal, so you can share it. But I think it's going to be live in the next 2 or 3 days. But it's a 40 free videos on step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, this, and it's just all talking to the camera. So it's very simple to follow.
You have to follow Mina on Instagram. He's fantastic. And you have to go check out PPC University, his course all about PPC ads. So you can find that. We'll leave all of that in the description box of the video for sure.
Awesome.
Let's take a question from Creative Planet. Do broad phrase and exact compete with each other if you run separate campaigns for the match type? There's a lot of people who ask that question, by the way.
No, they don't compete. They don't compete. And I've tested this a million times. Yeah. And I've talked to a lot of agencies that run PPC. They don't compete. And you shouldn't really be worried. Again, Amazon takes their algorithm into account. And so if you're running broad, you're running basically that one keyword is giving you 70 different keywords. When you're running exact, that one keyword is giving you just that one keyword. So your broad performance and your exact performance, it really doesn't have anything to do with that one keyword, because the broad is pretty much 70 keywords bundled into one. The exact is just that one keyword. So they don't compete.
Mina, thank you so much for your time and all this fantastic information. I just want you to let me know your thoughts on somebody who's looking into starting their business on Amazon or have started this year. What do you think Amazon is? Anywhere that you sell in the US, anywhere. Why do you love this platform? You love it as much as I do, but why do you love it? And what recommendations and what tips and tricks can you give somebody who's looking into this business?
Okay, so very good question. With everything that's happened before, Amazon used to be this amazing opportunity to make some money quickly. But now what Amazon is, it's almost like a launch pad for your business. So the way, if you're looking to start a business, honestly, I think everyone should start a business. I can never work for someone. I worked in corporate, I'm a chemical engineer. I have a master's in engineering. So I did I grew up in Dubai. We did the whole thing, right? The whole work for someone, work your way up, get a good salary, all this stuff. But I can't do it because I wanted the freedom. So if you want to build a business, you're going to have, usually in the past, you could build something, put it on Amazon, start making money. It's not like this anymore. Now you have to actually build a legitimate business. You're going to have to build a product that adds value to people's lives, something that is a solution to people's problems, that is in demand. Once you, the thing about Amazon is you can no longer look at it as just Amazon. Amazon is pretty much a store. It's like if you go to Carrefour and you put your product there. That's how it is. So you can't have your entire business rely on that anymore. You now have to build a full business and omnipresent business. You want to have your website, your e-commerce website on Shopify optimized. You want to have your Amazon platform. You want to have presence on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, everything. You want to start writing articles, blog articles that add value to people's lives. If you're selling pet stuff, give a ton of pet information out there. You can easily hire people from, like third world countries, and pay them like $5 for an article, $10 for an article. You have to have a full online presence, and be everywhere. What Amazon is going to be a distribution channel. So basically, people are gonna be shopping. They're gonna find your product and they're gonna buy it there. It's like if people were in Carrefour and they find your product and they buy it there. But it's no longer. And what it is also is it's an incredible launch pad, because it's the fastest way you can make money with your business. If you try to make money with your business just on Shopify, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads and retargeting and building an audience and all of this stuff for you to even start making money on Amazon, because Amazon is bringing you a bunch of people that are ready to buy, and they're just pretty much comparing whose product is the best. You can make like money much faster. But all it is, it's a launch pad. You're gonna start making that money, reinvest that money into building your brand, because the real value is in a brand. If you build a very strong brand and then you sell it, that's where you really make a lot of money. Or if you build a strong brand and you're in stores and you're online on your website, Facebook, Instagram, all of this stuff, you have a full legitimate brand. People can find you online. They can find you.
And they'll believe that you're a brand.
Yeah, they find you online and then they go buy you on Amazon because they're gonna get it in 2 days. So that's pretty much the way you want to look at the Amazon business. It's no longer a get-rich-quick scheme. So it's no longer like, find this keyword that has like high search volume and the top 3 sellers are doing less than this, than that. No. It doesn't work like this anymore, because there's going to be people like you, and then there's going to be the giants who understand the business, and they're going to come in and they're going to sell at a better price because they can get lower products. They're going to get faster reviews. They're going to get everything, and they're just going to beat you at everything because you're not differentiating enough. So you have to look at it as you're building a brand. You're building, like
a business.
For example, if you wanted to build a new soda, like a Pepsi or Coke, think of how you can't just do a Coca-Cola similar and then sell it. Everyone's just going to buy. Everyone's just going to buy that. So you're going to have to, maybe say, okay, I'm going to do a healthy Coca-Cola that makes you feel good, something like that, And so that's the way you have to look at the business now. Amazon is just going to be a way for you to start selling your product and people to find your product quickly. And it's also an incredible way for you to build branding, because I look at like my last 7 days on my PPC, and I have like 10 million impressions, which means I've showed up 10 million times. So over the course of 3 or 4 years, multiply that, it's billions of times people have seen me. I'm an established brand. So Amazon PPC is also an incredible way for you to gain a lot of visibility for your brand.
To do that on your very own website would be very expensive.
Very.
Thank you so much, Mina, and thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I know it's very early for you, but thanks so much.
It's not that early.
Again, it's okay. You're used to it.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for being part of The Peak, and we'll see you in other sessions. Bye, Mina. Bye, everyone.
Bye.